Good Friday evening, too. It is 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm meteorologist Melissa Nor with the 11 Alive Weather Impact team here at 11 Alive, and we're tracking a weather impact alert over the weekend. The reason why is we're going to be watching some heavy rain and embedded thunderstorms coming in first thing on Sunday morning, and this is going to play an impact on your day. Number one, the chance of strong storms will be out there, so that's going to play an impact on having a way to get warnings, making sure you have a way to get warnings, but also a lot of this will coincide with your Sunday morning plan. So that means heading out of town or coming back into town after the long holiday week, or maybe you're heading off to a church service first thing on Sunday morning. We're going to have some heavy rain and thunderstorms over the area. So that's why we issued this weather impact alert for Sunday morning. Going to go from midnight until noon on Sunday. And big picture, we're talking about strong storms and heavy rainfall to our west, pushing into North Georgia in the early hours of Sunday. Now, they're going to be weakening as they get here, but we still do expect some isolated strong storms that could play out. Now, that's going to come from storm system number 2 of 2 to impact us between now and the end of the weekend. Storm system number 1 is already here. This one did bring some thunderstorm activity west of us. It's the same storm system that was responsible for multiple confirmed tornadoes between yesterday and today down along the Gulf Coast. We're talking about East Texas, the Houston area, down into southern, even near Mobile, Alabama. There were a couple of tornadoes earlier today. So live radar right now, we're tracking rain moving in, but we're not going to see severe weather in North Georgia tonight. You can see there is light rain over the metro right now. That's that green on the map. Even areas that aren't seeing the green on the map, so to speak, we've got drizzle, we've got mist, we've got fog, and that has been with us throughout the evening since the sun started setting. It's the same kind of setup we had yesterday as well. Back to the west, though, we've got some heavier showers and even some isolated thunderstorms. I want to circle on this map. Again, we're on 11 Alive Plus, so we have the beauty of as much time as we really want. You see here, there's a few lightning strikes right there. I will actually query those lightning strikes so we can see how many we are seeing in this area. Whoop, let's see. Let me let it query for me. There we go. So we've got just a few lightning strikes, 3, but this is December, so 3 is a lot more than 0, right? So a couple of embedded thunderstorms, some locally heavy rainfall that's pushing in through Rome, Armucci, also some of that heavy rain pushing out towards Gordon County near Calhoun, and we've got a few pockets up into north central Georgia as well. There in Murray County, that is starting to push east closer to Fannin and Gilmer County. So a little bit of rain moving through right now, and you can see big picture. We had some showers earlier today. Now the second wave, this is with the back edge of that rain, is pushing into West Georgia right now and out towards Cleburne County in Alabama as well. You can see some thunderstorms on the south side of this system. Severe weather threat tonight will not be in our area. The reason why is we have this wedge of cool air, which has kept us chilly all day today. That's more stable air, so you'll notice, yes, there might be thunderstorms back in Alabama right now, but as that line kind of gets into North Georgia, the further east it's going to get, the weaker and weaker it's going to get us because it hits that cooler, more stable air. And look, we had the wedge build in yesterday. It's stronger today. It's not going to fully erode away tonight. I think it's still with us for much of tomorrow. But this wedge, okay, whenever we have these wedge setups, they can often be a limiter or an inhibitor to a severe weather event playing out. And that's one of the ingredients we're looking at for this Sunday coming in. Severe weather outlook for the rest of tonight. Storm Prediction Center has gone ahead and trimmed back some of that level 1 risk area. We still have it a little bit there in southeastern Mississippi and back into southwestern Alabama. That includes Mobile and kind of Pensacola near that area. But tomorrow, a different storm system is going to ramp up across the deep south. And that'll be the one that we eye and watch closely for what can unfold in North Georgia first thing on Sunday morning. You notice to our west, the risk of severe weather is much higher. That's where there's a level 3 threat of severe weather out of 5 for Louisiana, Mississippi, western Alabama. That's where there's not just going to be a line of storms, but some discrete cells may develop tomorrow afternoon. We call those supercells. So those could develop tomorrow afternoon, and then as they push eastward, they're going to kind of form into a line, and that line should be weakening as it gets into the North Georgia region. So our severe weather outlook, we have a level 1 threat for the Atlanta area. And then you notice for Sunday in that yellow shade, which I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see some of these counties in that level 2 threat. This is a slight risk of severe weather. Athens down to Covington, down to McDonough. This also includes back towards kind of Pike and Lamar counties. So that's where the threat may be slightly greater. I will say, though, even though they've pulled this all the way up to I-85, I think that's likely overdone. And the reason why is we've got that wedge that's in place right now. We've got to scour out that cooler, more stable air. Will we see these storms taking a little longer to get into that region? If it takes until like noon for them to get out to Athens, maybe that allows for a little bit of energy to develop in the atmosphere. But if this thing's blowing through early in the morning, it's just not a very good time frame of day to bring in severe weather. So this is one of our classic winter setups, okay? When we talk about winter severe weather in North Georgia, we see it starting to ramp up in November, when we get it through December, January, even February, and then we get into March and April. That's more of our spring severe weather storm type, so to speak. In this winter time, we often, when we see severe weather, we call these high shear, low cape setups. What that means is it's not warm. We don't have rising thunderstorms like we do when we hit 80 degrees, but we have a lot of wind energy in the atmosphere. That wind energy can, number one, cause damaging straight line winds, but number two, if we have rotational shear in the atmosphere and wind energy, that can help some of these lines of storms produce a little bit of rotation. So a line of storms coming in Sunday morning. Let me talk about the threats of those lines of that line of storms. High risk of heavy rain. Everybody's going to see heavy rain, regardless of if that severe weather threat plays out or not. Heavy rain is in the cards. We're talking about a great soaking rain, a good soaking rain. I think it'll come in and might cause some creeks and streams to run high, maybe get into minor flood stage. But this is not going to be a situation where we have round after round of training storms in the same places over and over again. So for that reason, not an incredibly high threat of flash flooding. Now, let's talk about severe weather ingredients. We talk about strong winds, tornadoes, and hail. Well, number one, hail. I don't think the setup's going to come together. With a line of storms coming through, we don't often see as much in the hail window as we do damaging straight line winds and that little bit of spin in the atmosphere as well. So we're putting that chance of strong winds at low. Okay, I think that chance would be higher right along West Georgia and then again closer to like Macon. Tornado risk, very low, but not zero. And one of the things I'll show you, this is one of our parameters that we look at. Okay, this is called the significant tornado parameter. It's looking at what's the environment doing. Tornadoes need lift, they need the shear in the atmosphere. So this is looking at a couple of different components. Wind shear very low on the ground. We want that lowest level of the atmosphere. If you think of a hamburger, we want the bottom bun to have a lot of that wind shear for these storms to tighten up and drop a tornado. Well, what are we doing with the wind shear, the tornado environment? This shows you, we get into Sunday morning, those levels coming up a little bit, but notice this is the European model. I'm going to show you two different models. The European model keeps it all in this kind of white shade. That's really low, okay? That means we're not going to be looking at EF2, EF3, EF4 tornadoes. It would be something incredibly brief and weak likely if a tornado were to develop. So very low chance. Now, this is the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh model, okay? And this one is, so when we talk about high resolution models, it's like you're supposed to wear glasses, but you normally don't. Then you put your glasses on, and this is what a high-resolution model is like, okay? They don't go as far out in time, but they have a much smaller grid size, meaning higher definition. So you think of an SD TV versus an HD TV. Maybe you think of what your iPhone screen looked like 15 years ago versus what your iPhone screen or your phone screen looks like now. Okay, different resolution size, different everything for those graphics. So this is looking much finer tuned, very, very high resolution. And it does bring in some slightly more favorable values, but even then, okay, we're not at the high end of the spectrum. But when we see these numbers get up to about 1 to 2 on our scale, it means it's enough to support a brief spin up, okay? So this one is excited about maybe seeing that those environmental conditions there, but even if we have the ingredients, it doesn't mean they're gonna come together, right? It does not mean they're gonna come together. That's the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. Tornado watch means you got the ingredients. Will they come together? So the ingredients may be there. Will they come together? We don't know yet. Okay, here's the forecast track. What I want to show you is that we have two different weather systems impacting us. The one that's impacting us now, and then we'll time out that second weather system on Sunday morning. Forecast track right now, I showed you the rain moving across North Georgia. We're going to keep seeing that through the overnight. Some pockets of heavy rain. West Georgia could see a rumble or two of thunder, but I don't expect severe weather. This is a little line of some rain. It's pushing through during the overnight. And then by tomorrow morning, that steady stuff is out of here. But, I say big but, drizzle, mist, and fog. We had it today. We're going to have it again tomorrow morning. That wedge is still here. We have to have a nice, strong southerly wind to scour it out. We're not going to have that tonight. So tomorrow morning is going to look a lot how today did during the afternoons. On and off, little sprinkles, some drizzle, some mist, and the fog tomorrow morning could be rather thick out there. We'll start off in the 40s in the morning. We start to see that wind direction shift by the end of the afternoon. You see how this starts to pick those numbers up with our temperatures? It's trying. It's trying. It's not very successful, but it is trying. So 63 LaGrange, 61 in Thomaston. Here, mid-afternoon tomorrow, mid-50s, okay? So it might not warm up like it looked like it would 2 days ago. Let's get into the evening, though. We start to see showers pulling into North Georgia, coming up into the region. And as those showers start to come in, it's kind of hard to see on this graphic, but we have these little wind lines on here. I don't know if you can see these. These are showing us where the winds are coming from. Finally, by midnight tomorrow night, we're scouring out that cool air and that stable air and starting to warm our numbers up. That puts us in what we call the warm sector. Too little, too late? Or is it enough to mean we can keep and support severe weather ongoing? You notice at midnight tomorrow night, we have a few showers here, but back in Alabama, they have this line of storms developing. By 4 o'clock Sunday morning, that's pushing into West Georgia, and then we'll see if those can hold together Sunday morning as they move through. We're going to get the heavy rain. We're going to see some embedded thunderstorms, but how strong will those wind gusts be? Will we see any little notches where we could see rotation in the line? That's what we're looking out for, and that's why we've issued this weather impact alert for the potential for that. So this model shows you Sunday morning, we're up to 64 in Atlanta. So we warm up overnight by 7 or so degrees. So that line comes through Atlanta first thing on Sunday morning. This is 9 o'clock. As we get into 10:30, 11, notice how, okay, we've had a few hours of daylight at this point. So the atmosphere could become a little bit more unstable out here, and that's why they've got this level 2 risk of severe weather. But again, I think it's going to take so long to get that cool air out of here. It will hopefully limit how many of these could become strong or severe. I think Macon area has a slightly better chance of those stronger storms, but that's what this model's trying to pick up on. So time frame wise, by mid to late morning, these are racing out of Atlanta and into East Georgia. This is 1 o'clock. That steady rain's gone. We're not done with the front quite yet, though. You notice in the afternoon, little few showers pivot through as the front's actually tracking across North Georgia. And then from there, we'll dry things out, bring back some more sunshine by your Monday. So I know that was a lot that I just walked through on the forecast track. That was our in-house model. I will show you, I'm going to show you a different model as well, because it's great when we have this unlimited time to show you a couple different models. This is the HER model. Okay, so it also has that little bit of drizzle first thing tomorrow morning. We get into the evening, it starts to bring in these showers. Notice to our west at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Doesn't have a line of storms, that's further back to the west, but it has these clusters of storms in Alabama. Okay, then we get into the overnight. You can see the line to the west pushing in, so we might have more activity around in advance of it, and then it finally blows through. Similar time frame, first thing on Sunday morning. This is 6 o'clock, 7, 8, and it's really racing quickly throughout eastern Georgia there. So a lot of things, a lot of different ingredients could come together. We could also see that wedge takes so long to get out of here. If we don't hit above 60 degrees, we're just not going to see the same potential of severe weather that we could if we hit 67 first thing on a Sunday morning. So there will be a difference. So what to expect the next 24 hours, though? We've got rain showers over our area right now. We're going to see the highest coverage lasting between now and about 6 to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then it's more of that nuisance on and off activity for the rest of tomorrow. So this rain coverage graphic shows you how widespread things are versus how isolated the coverage of that rain is going to be on the map. So for right now, the next several hours, a lot of that rain is moving through, and we're going to see fewer of these showers around tomorrow morning. So you can see that rain right now. We'll zoom back in. And you can see that one little thunderstorm moving through Cleburne County there. But otherwise, we've got some of these showers pressing through the northern side of the metro. Rome, that rain picks up in intensity. And I can actually show you our live camera in downtown Rome. Look at that. Rain coming down, the flag blowing in the breeze. Let me show you Atlanta, because that'll show you as well the difference in the kind of fogginess and mistiness outside. We've got some light showers in Atlanta, a lot of that mist and fog. This is an improvement, though, I will say, from about 3 hours ago with seeing the skyscrapers in the backdrop. Right after sunset, that cloud deck got so low, we almost had fog right on the ground, but now that's lifted a little bit because showers are moving in. That helps to pick up the winds just a little bit. And I'll also show you, I know it wasn't the best result in the world, but this is a live look at Protective Stadium out in Birmingham as well, where we were tracking a lightning delay there for the Yellow Jackets and Vanderbilt this evening there for the Birmingham Bowl. So again, tracking multiple rounds of showers and some thunderstorms. The rain's moving through right now. Thunderstorms will be for first thing on Sunday morning. Ingredients could come together for a few isolated strong storms, but we don't feel like all of North Georgia will end up seeing severe weather. Strong wind gusts possible. Everybody's going to get some heavy rain. Very low risk, but not zero. There could be a brief spin up. Again, if that wedge of cool air holds firm and takes longer to get out of here, this is really going to weaken these things much quicker Sunday morning. And that's what we want to happen, but we've issued this weather impact alert so that you're aware there is that potential we could see some stronger storms out there. So that's kind of the latest there. Let me show you a sneak peek of what we're also expecting into the work week, because we've got a lot of folks traveling, and we've also got New Year's Eve happening. And we've got the peach drop here in Atlanta. We've got the possum drop out in Tallapoosa, as we learned on 11 Live News tonight. Weather impact alert for Sunday morning. Monday looks fine. Actually pretty mild for us this time of year. We average mid-50s. We're going to be up in the mid-60s on Monday. Great day to, do some shopping, some returning, or get ready for your New Year's resolution. Maybe get in a pre-2025 last walk. And then New Year's Eve, we're looking at a few isolated showers, mainly north of Atlanta in the morning. Those will clear out. I think we're going to be smooth sailing for the ball drop and the peach drop on Tuesday night. Temperatures will probably be in the 50s for that, falling down into the 40s by after midnight hour, but it does look dry there. So again, we're tracking multiple opportunities for rain coming up. We've got showers moving through right now. We've also got storms first thing Sunday morning. And by the way, Sunday night football this week on 11 Alive. Your Atlanta Falcons are visiting the Washington Commanders. Out in Maryland, we are expecting a lot of rain there, which could play an impact on how they do with the game. I know the Falcons are often treated by having a closed dome there at Mercedes-Benz, so they never have to deal with those outdoor elements. But They will be dealing with that at FedEx Field out in Maryland on Sunday night. So that's right here on 11 Alive. So again, tracking rain showers right now. Overnight tonight, those rain showers keep pushing through. Those rain showers could be locally heavy. We also see some isolated storms in Alabama, but the severe weather threat that we're tracking, that is for Sunday with a level 1 and 2 threat of severe weather across parts of North Georgia. So again, we'll just close this by wrapping up the timing of this. Again, tonight, on and off showers. Tomorrow morning and for the afternoon, it's a lot of nuisance, drizzle, some fog out there with temperatures in the 50s. And then it's early Sunday morning when this line of thunderstorms moves in. This is Sunday morning showing you at 3:30, the line of storms pushing into northwest Georgia. This is a new forecast track that just updated while we were on the air. It's actually sped it up a little bit. So that brings it through Atlanta at 6 instead of 7. So that's an update versus the top of the hour when we were first talking. And then by the time we get into noon, it is just about out of here. So you can see that clearing out, and then for the afternoon, maybe a stray shower lingering, but it's that Sunday morning time frame when we have our weather impact alert. We get new information in always. We're going to have that for you on 11 Alive at 11 o'clock tonight. And you can also join Danielle Moss first thing tomorrow morning starting at 6 on 11 Alive News for the latest on what will be an active weekend of weather here in North Georgia.